All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Ashai, Bashim Rakahakudash. Double honor to the elders, apostles that I learned the truth from. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Aki, and pushing the truth throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, and learn not the way of the heathen. All right, when you deal with these heathens and their other gods, the false gods that they worship, and the customs that they keep, all right, which are not our customs, us being Israelites, I'm talking to you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, all right, you know, you're Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans are the Israelites, all right, and the Israelites are the Lord's chosen people, um, through the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Lord chose the children of Israel. Let me just prove that, all right. So because the Lord chose us, he set us aside to serve him. All right. Um, this is Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy power, Yahweh, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." So that's the chosen people of the Lord. That's the Lord. That's the people that the Lord is dealing with as far as giving them his laws, statutes, and commandments. Who is his people? Okay. So when you think about God, all right, the God in the Bible, or the creator of the heavens and the earth, the true and only power is the power of Israel. He's the God of Israel. So that's the people that he's with. All right. So because the Lord chose us, he set us aside. He chose us to serve him. And then he gave us his laws, his statutes, his commandments, and commanded us that we should follow them. All right. All right. Which will set us, this was our wisdom in the sight of the nations. Let me go grab that. Which we had lost. Okay. There was a period of time where we had lost that because, being in captivity. Let me just full chapter this. Here we go. This Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, "Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments that which I will teach you, which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord Yahweh, power of your fathers, giveth you." That's right. And so the Lord, he gave us his statutes, his judgments, all right, which was to separate us from the heathen, because all of the things, all of the sinful things that's written in the scriptures, these are things that the heathen were doing. They were serving other gods. They were doing homosexuality. They were doing debauchery. They were looking on each other's nakedness. They were doing incestual relationships. They were doing bestiality. They were doing tattoos and lining up their beards and lining up their heads. All right. But the Lord gave us his laws, such commandments, which is all righteous, to set us apart. All right. And to, because he chose us to be righteous. All right. To be the judges over these heathens. So the heathens, they don't have any righteous customs. All right. Which our people have been seduced, always were seduced into serving other gods. All right. And that's how the Lord um would get pissed off, because they did the same thing in all right, they had the golden calf, right, that they had set up in Exodus, the 32nd chapter. All right. And they were trying to follow the ways of the heathen. All right. Because the heathens, they were the ones that were making those idols and stuff. This Exodus 32. It says, and when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons and your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all that and all the break and all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So they is worshiping, a golden calf. Okay, which to this day, you got Elamites that worship that. Okay, okay, the Indians, they worship cows as part of Hinduism. In Hinduism, cows are considered sacred and are worshipped in religious ceremonies and festivals. All right, they don't believe that cows are God. This is despite many believing it is to be the case. Hindus do not believe that cows are God or worship them, but reverence for cows is an integral part of Hindu tradition. So that's some heathen shit. All right, they were behaving themselves like some heathens, man, setting up gods, just like those Ishmaelites over there with that damn Islam stuff. And our people, it's not new under the sun. They were they will go after other gods. Deuteronomy 4, which that's the same chapter we was just in. It says, I'll start at verse 24. Deuteronomy 4 and 24. For the Lord thy power is a consuming fire, even a jealous power. When thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, ye shall corrupt yourselves in making a graven image, or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. All right. So the Lord is a jealous power. He's like, he said that they would do this, okay? That they would make a graven image, and our people are constantly doing that. It says, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter you among the nations. Ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. That's right. So these gods of wood and stone, they don't see, they don't hear, they don't eat, they don't smell. And our people, they worship idols. They worship shit that is not even alive. The work of men's hands. You know, like I was talking about the golden calf, and that's some heathen shit. That comes from the Egyptians. This is shit that the Egyptians was doing. When you go look in their hieroglyphs, go in the hieroglyphics, you're gonna see them getting down with animals. You're gonna see them getting down, two men getting down. You're gonna see mother with son. I think King Tut, he was made out of an ancestral relationship. So this is why the Lord chose us to and brought us out from among the heathen to serve him in the wilderness, to give us those laws, those statutes, those judgments. And now us being here in America, Babylon the Great, under these heathen, once again, our people have been seduced by that. Okay. Okay. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. Now, who is the righteous? The Israelites are the righteous. All right. We're more excellent than the heathen. All right. Like we was talking about, this is our wisdom in the sight of the nations. All right. This Deuteronomy 4 and 3, it says, your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Lord thy power have destroyed them from among you. That's right. Okay. And the Lord will always destroy um all right, if you serving another God, because the Lord is jealous. All right, you go read about it right here in Numbers chapter 25. It says, in Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord Yahweh was kindled against Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through the men of Israel, and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. All right. So it said what? They were committing whoredom with the daughters of Moab, and they called the people to sacrifice to their gods. So you're not supposed to go after the gods of the other nations, which are idols. You have our people that do that now, like that bitch Tina Turner, where she said she was a Buddhist or something like that. Same thing where you got our people attaching themselves to the god of the Ishmaelites, which is nothing but a stone over there in the city of Mecca. That all right, which cannot talk, hear. It's just an idol. All right, but Yahweh by Shema Shai, the power of Israel, created the heavens and the earth. All right, and the Lord is known by the judgment which He executeth. All right. So back in Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 4, it says, but ye that did cleave unto the Lord Yahweh, your power are alive, every one of you this day. And that's what's going to take place for the elect. Those that cleave unto the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai, all right, and keep his statutes, his judgments, all right, these scriptures, all right, the Lord is going to preserve us. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgment, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Right. What are those statutes, those judgments? Don't commit adultery. Don't steal. Thou shalt not kill, which is to murder. All right. You can, self-defense is different. All right. He that steal for man and sell for him shall surely be put to death. You're not supposed to be kidnapping and selling and doing all that shit that Esau does. Getting tattoos, having sexual immorality, men lying down with men, women lying down with women. All right. Women committing adultery on their husbands. All right. Eating all the shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, destroying your temple, destroying your body. All right. These are the judgments, the statutes that the Lord gave us. All right. And it's all written throughout these scriptures. You're supposed to do so and possess it. All right. It says, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. And right now we're just um you know uh, uh keeping it to the best of our ability, rehearsing the righteous acts. But we're taking heed, all right, to that. We know the right way. We know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. All right, and these heathens don't have the truth. All right. It says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear of these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power is in all things, that we may call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before the Lord thy power in Horeb, when the Lord said unto me, Gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And ye came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire under the midst of heaven, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no multitude, only ye heard a voice. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of multitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire. Right? The Lord was speaking, all right, through his spirit. All right, it was no multitude, but they all heard the Lord. It says, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure in the likeness of a male or female. And that's what they do. All right. Now when we show you the image of the Heavenly Father, like his likeness, it's a depiction. It's not to be worshipped. All right. We worship Yahweh Shemashai through our spirit. All right. We don't look at an image of the Lord and say, oh, we worshiping that, because that's an idol. It's idolatry. All right. Nevertheless, that's what these heathens do, and that's what these plantation Christians and 2/3 of our people do. They look of a picture of Cesare Borgia with white, pale skin, and that long flowy hair and blue eyes, and they say, "Oh, that's God." No, that's not God. That's an idol. That's a graven image. All right, people getting Jesus pieces, chains, and all of that. Those are images, graven images, and idols, which is against the Lord, which is against the law. All right, it's one of the first commandments. Thou shalt have no other gods before thee. You know, before me. It says right here, Exodus 20 and 3. It says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth." We never set up graven images unto the Lord. We set up the tabernacle. All right, the tabernacle. We had the ephod, the breastplate, the menorah, the fringes. All right, which is to remind you to keep the commandments of the Lord. The menorah, which represents the 7 candles of the 7 churches, which is the 7 spirits. All right, made out of pure gold. All right, we have the ephod, which is the representation of the 12 tribes. All right, but we never had no graven images or likenesses. Okay, that's what these heathens do. They like we was talking about in the Philistines in the First Samuel, the 5th chapter, how they set up Dagon, which is a fish man god. All right, the customs of the people are vain. Let's go back to that. This Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." Right, and what were the heathen doing? The Sodom and Gomorrites, those were Hamites, and they were committing homosexuality. They were trying to lay down with the angels. The customs of the people are vain. All right, so you're not supposed to be learning those ways. Now here in America, Babylon the Great, the land of confusion, all of these different heathen customs are being pushed. Sexual immorality, cross-dressing, tattoos, worshiping other gods, anything. And that's why the Lord is going to destroy this place. It says, verse 3, "For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe," otherwise known as Christmas, Saturnalia. It says, "They deck it with silver and gold, they fasten it with nails and hammers, that it move not." Right. There's the 4th of July, setting off fireworks, Labor Days, cooking out and all of that. Halloween, selling candy and shit and fucking dressing up. This is all vain shit, okay? It had nothing to do with serving Yahweh Shemashah, the true power that created the heaven and the earth. They setting up their own wicked inventions, All right, which the Lord is not pleased with any of that shit. That's not how the Lord set up the earth to be ran. He wanted to be ran in righteousness, set, you know, keeping his customs, his statutes, his laws. All right, like the Day of Atonement, or the Sabbath, keeping the Sabbath holy, or the new moon. All right, and these different sanctified days the Lord set up, not these fucking Christmas and shit. Some fat dude jumping down the chimney and shit like that. That's all vain shit, man. All right, and it shows you how these people are base. All right, these are the base men of the earth. These heathens are not anything to the Lord. Now the Lord didn't choose them. The Lord set us up to do His work. All right, to be that righteous people. All right, to teach the nations, to judge. All right, we are the righteous, man, but we've been seduced by the way of the wicked time and time again from the beginning. All right, going after and serving the gods of these other nations. All right, so right here, Jeremiah 10:2, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right, don't learn the way of the heathen. Why? For the customs of the people are vain. All right, and all of their customs are vain, whether they're worshiping a cow, worshiping bound down to some fucking idol, all right, or whatever the fuck they do, all right. It's not of Yahweh Shema Shai. It's not fruitful, all right. And this is what we've been dealing with here in America, trying to be seduced by the ways of the heathen, all right. It says they deck it with silver and gold, they fasten it with nails that it move not. It says um right, so and they eat all different types of abominable foods, all right. They're not fit to rule, man. So we gotta come back to Yahweh Shema Shai, the dietary law. All right, the laws that the Lord put in place. As a matter of fact, I got one more scripture I want to go grab in the book of I believe it's Leviticus, either I think it's Leviticus 20. But yeah, the Lord gives you the Lord made us clean. They was getting down when they was on their period. All right, their menstrual, they was unclean. They was doing unclean shit. Okay, this is Leviticus chapter 20, verse 7. And it's just in our spirit, us being Israelites, we're just a more clean people. We cleave more to, like we taught Esau how to wash his ass and all of that. It talks about that in the Moors and all of that. Leviticus 27. Sanctify yourself, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the Lord Yahweh. And you shall keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord Yahweh, which sanctify you. And we were doing all types of sacrifices, and offerings. We gave offerings to the Lord, sin offerings and different things that we had. But Yahweh has become the sacrifice, okay, the propitiation. It says, for everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He have cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon them. And them Edomites, they do that. They be like, fuck you, mom. Fuck you, dad. You go up in their house, their kids are talking shit and all of this other stuff. I'm not doing shit. Da-da-da, because they're heathens. They don't have they're not set up like this. You got some heathens that, but if it's one or the other, okay, the Lord didn't set them up to teach us, all right? He set us up to teach them. And we're not supposed to be learning their ways. We're supposed to get the word from the Heavenly Father through His prophets, all right, via the angels, all right, the Holy Spirit, and teach, okay, one another. And ultimately, these heathen, it's going to come a time where all the heathen going to come to us, all right? And like we was reading in Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, this is our wisdom and our understanding the side of the nations. All right, but back in Leviticus 20 and 10, and the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and adulteress shall he surely put to death. And that's a judgment. And the so-called white man, he was raping our wives during slavery. All right, basically you taking another man's property upon yourself. All right, and you know, there's plenty of women out here that you want to get down with another man's wife. You're not supposed to do that. That's called committing adultery. All right, and it's punishable by death. These are the judgments that we're supposed to keep. all right, and to do them, all right, meaning if you see that, you're supposed to put them to death, but in the time that we live in, you can't do that right now, because all things that are lawful are not expedient. Nevertheless, you know that the punishment is death, so you shouldn't be committing adultery, you shouldn't be laying down with no man if you're a man. It's all these different judgments. Why? Because this is what the heathen were doing. Okay, this is what the heathen were doing, and the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And I believe it was Reuben that did that. All right. It says he calls to mind Reuben's sin, which occurred earlier in the book of Genesis, where he had sexual relations with Bilhah, who is, as you remember, one of his father's four wives. It would be his stepmother at that time. Jacob heard and Reuben had done it, but didn't say or do anything about it. Yeah, so um he committed incest. Okay, Reuben, his eldest son, laid with Bilhah, Rachel's maidservant and concubine to her husband. In other words, Reuben committed incest with Israel's surrogate wife. Moses only reports that Jacob heard of this act and offers no explicit moral judgment. All right, but it says right here in Leviticus 20, that you're not supposed to do that. Okay, and because Reuben, Reuben was the firstborn, yet because he committed, incest, he went up to my couch. It says right here, then defile us out with. All right. Um. All right. He was revoked of his birthright. Okay. Let me see if I can find that. Reuben defile. Right here, Genesis chapter 49 and verse 3. Reuben, thou my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch. All right, he went and defiled his father's bed, meaning he was with his Bilhah. All right, with his handmaid, his concubine. All right, so we see that that's going off, right? Leviticus 20 and 11. And the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought in confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. So your daughter-in-law will pretty much be your son's wife. Okay, you're not supposed to do that. And they do that. This is what the heathen were doing. And this is what Israel has been seduced by. All right. By plantation Christianity and saying that the law is done away with and eating that up. All right. Do what thou wilt. All right. Calling evil good and good evil. This is what happens. Judgment is the wrong judgment goeth out, and the law is slack, and righteous judgment never go forth. And if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereunto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. Surely they shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. And if a man lie with a woman having her sickness, and she uncover her nakedness, right, if she on her period, or he hath discovered a fountain, and she have uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. You're not supposed to be laying down with women on their period and shit like that. You're not supposed to be around them. All right, it talks about that in Leviticus the 15th chapter. And if you're a man that semen leaves out, you copulation of semen, you're supposed to get in the shower and be unclean until even. You're supposed to be washed with water. All right, these are the different things that make us holy, sanctify us, and separate us from the heathen. These are the customs that we once had, once knew, and which we supposed to come back to. And it says, and thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, nor thy father's sister, for he uncovereth her, his near kin, they shall bear their iniquity. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he have uncovered his uncle's nakedness, they shall bear their sin. All right. Uh, right. We read that. Slakia. If a man, okay, verse 21, if a man take his brother's wife, is unclean thing, he hath uncovered his brother's nakedness, they shall be childless. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments and do them, and that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out. And this is how we got spewed out. We was committing wicked acts. And ye shall not walk in the manner of the nation which I cast out before you, for they have committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. Right, so they committed all of those things: homosexuality, ancestral relationships, laying down with animals. And that was the land of Canaan. Those were the Canaanites, those Hamites. They were over there committing those acts. All right, and so what? The Lord told us not to do that. Now here today in America, they're doing all that same shit here. All right, dealing with horses and shit, animals, serving other gods, doing all these different wicked things, tattoos and shit. When you think about tattoo culture and black culture is basically learning the way of the heathen and doing all that that the niggas we wasn't having tattoos like that. Now you got our people taking on that biker gang shit. All right, all of that homosexual shit. The so-called white man was a homosexual. We had multiple women. We had masculine men in our race and our people. We like having sex with our women. Okay, we were fruitful and multiply. We were constantly having big families. Look at our forefather Jacob and all the women that he had. He had 12 sons. All right, 4 women. So these aren't our customs, man. These are the customs of the heathen, monogamy, all of this stuff. All right, you're not supposed to be learning the way of the heathen. All right. So I pray the lessons edifying. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemashai, Bashem Rakahakwadash. Shalom.